Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us this afternoon for our webinar on student multicultural and diversity programs. We will be starting shortly. We're letting people join us both through Zoom and Facebook, so take your time. We have about 1 more minute before we get started, so thank you for joining us. Again, we're both live on Facebook and on Zoom, and this will be recorded, so after we finish our presentation today, you will be able to watch this webinar on Facebook again, and then in about a week you will be able to see it on our website uab.edu/families with captions. So join us, take a seat, get comfortable. Wonderful presentation today by Sharifa Whip, today Student Multicultural and Diversity Programs Coordinator. So we'll give everybody a few more minutes to jump on. Again, we're live on Facebook and here on Zoom. Hello, Sharifa, welcome.
Hello, so excited to share today.
Yeah, so let me just monitor. So if anybody sees me moving my head, it's because I'm also looking at Facebook, and we're glad to have some of our guests joining us on Facebook already. So welcome, everybody. If you're joining us on Facebook, welcome. And in case you have missed it, while we take care of some housekeeping items, we had a webinar early today, and we've had about, I was going to say 14 webinars so far. So if you've missed any of them, or if you would like to go back and see them, we've had anywhere from financial aid, scholarships, housing, student health services, VMask and tutoring services. So we've had an array of services from different departments and partners here on campus. So you can go back on Facebook and watch any that you have missed or watch them again. And you can definitely go to our website and look at those webinars. They will be under our website, again, uab.edu/families, under communications, under 2023 webinars. So I think we can go and get started. Thank you, Sharifa, again, for being here. And thank you, everybody. At the end, you'll have a chance to ask any questions through our Q&A section. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, Sharifa. It's all yours.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. It took me a minute. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for, folks always say thank you so much for having me, but I really do appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about an office that is so important to me, not only because I serve in this office, but because I truly believe in the work that we do. So this is Student Multicultural and Diversity Programs. We are located, as you can see on the screen, we are located in the Hill Student Center on the 3rd floor, and our contact information is there, but I'll share it with you as well. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not good at reading off the PowerPoint. So while you are able to view this PowerPoint, I will just speak to what is on the slides because I love to share about this office. I have worked in this office since its inception. We are actually celebrating 10 years of doing diversity work at UAB. My name is Sharifa Whip. I use she, her pronouns. I am a 2-time graduate of UAB, and I'm so glad to be able to serve in this space. Our office, Student Multicultural and Diversity Program, is made up of 6 student groups: the Blazer Male Excellence Network, the Black Student Awareness Committee, Free Food for Thought, Safe Zone, the Social Justice Advocacy Council, and Queer Peers. And so I'll break those down a little bit more. Now, this PowerPoint is just a little bit off, because we have had some folks to transition out of our office. So if you look at the top of the screen, this is Herb Wilkerson. He is the director for our office, and that is me right here, Sharifa Whip. And then our office assistant is Stephanie Collins. So when you come to the office, you'll definitely for sure see the 3 of us. We've actually added a new staff member, but I haven't added her to the PowerPoint, but you'll be able to engage with a few more people. All right, so our mission is, I don't want to call it simple, but it's really, really clear. Our goal is to empower, to engage. I'm going to add educate, and also challenge our students. to increase their resiliency. Through our program, we support our office, we support graduation and retention initiatives. And our goal is to develop global leaders. We don't want people to just be great on this campus. We want them to take what they have learned and really bring it into the world, because we believe that the work that we do is world changing. And so we provide a learning environment and a growing environment and an empowering environment that really values and respects and acknowledges historically underrepresented student populations. And we do our work through community building, again, education, and also connection to resources. So we value several things, but education is on top of our priority, and you'll see that through our educational programming and also through equity, right? So a lot of people use the word equality, but we believe in equity. We truly believe that you need specifically what you need. You don't necessarily need what somebody else has, because having what they have might not still be fair to you. So we believe in equity in this space. We believe in being fair and providing the resources in the way that students need it for their individual needs. We also work to eliminate barriers that would keep you from finding success. And so we also empower students to not only learn, but to share what they have learned. We acknowledge, we celebrate their experiences and their various identities. We also provide an environment where you can learn more about yourself, right? You're learning more about the world, you're learning more about how to share in the world, but you're really learning more about yourself, how you operate. Why do you think this way? Why did you have this idea about X, Y, and Z? And then begin to think about yourself in a hopefully a better, positive, and more empowering way. We provide a space, both physically and mentally, for you to connect to your colleagues, but also to make a connection to this campus. Our hope is that after your time at UAB, you'll feel like this was a place that you really invested in that was worth it. That this was a place that you really found yourself, that you found community, that you built really great relationships that are going to take you and increase your quality of life. And of course, we believe in social justice, right? We empower our students to really be part of the social change that is so important for our world. So we won't talk about social justice, but the idea of social justice is the idea that the rights of all people within a community are considered in a fair and equitable manner. And so when we talked earlier about equity and removing barriers, this is a really great example of what it looks like. So this is, you look on the left and you see what the reality is, right? Equality would say everybody gets one pedestal, even though everyone can't see what's going on by using one pedestal. So then equity says, all right, then everybody gets what they need so that they all can participate and watch. And justice says, we're going to remove that wall. We're removing any barrier so that we don't have to make 3 different adjustments. We're making one huge adjustment to make sure that the barrier is gone and that there's free and clear thinking. And so when we begin to put those things into practice through the work in our office, we talk about removing barriers. We talk about equity, which is great, but we really talk about removing those barriers, because when the barrier is gone, now life is a whole lot better. It's more manageable. It's doable with different types of people. And so our social justice education has a wide scope and includes strategies that fit the needs of the populations that we serve. And we'll talk about that through our programming in this office. So our educational programs, we start with free food for thought, right? We create a space for students and community members when they are invited to share their thoughts and opinions about a hot topic, or the topic of the day, a current event, or an issue that is really important that people want to talk about. And so what will happen is our facilitators have spent the summer picking this topic, and then they break it down into subtopics. And so they will invite you to come to engage in conversations centered around this topic. We, of course, provide food, but there's an opportunity for you to have these conversations in small groups. And it's really an opportunity for exchange of ideas. Everybody is not going to agree. Everybody's not going to have the same opinion, but this is a place for exchange of ideas and not debate. So our facilitators are also trained in making sure that we are making sure that when people come to these sessions to exchange ideas, to listen and to learn, that they're not going to be attacked for maybe not having a quote unquote popular idea, or for maybe not even having a whole lot of information about the topic at hand. This is a space for you to grow. This is a space for you to learn. This is a space for you to listen. And so I love free food for thought, because sometimes there's these issues that have so many layers like an onion. And so the facilitators really work to build a curriculum that unpacks these issues so that we can think differently, or take into thought other considerations around a topic that is really important to us. Our next one is Safe Zone. So our Safe Zone peer educators provide an opportunity for UAB undergraduate, graduate, and professional students to get information, to ask questions, and to learn about how they can get this education to make campus and the world a little bit safer, but more accepting for sure for all of our queer students, our faculty, our guests, our vendors, and even people that may visit campus. It's important to note, though, that there's also a peer zone, Safe Zone educator that works with faculty and staff and some other folks. So this one is completely led by students for students. And again, our Safe Zone peer educators, they write the curriculum, they edit the curriculum, and they really work to teach people about new terms, new concepts. I mean, there's a lot of pushback on using pronouns. They'll explain to you, like, why do we use our pronouns? You know, what is the difference between sex, sexuality, and gender? And so when we talk about creating welcoming, inclusive spaces, well, part of that is understanding the terms. Is part of understanding, you know, having clear definitions. And also this happens this Safe Zone trainings are so important, because you can ask the questions and give a little pushback, so you better understand how to create a space where all people are acknowledged in the way that they deserve to be acknowledged, and that we are creating spaces for people who maybe never had a space, and we are acknowledging it again properly. So our social justice programming is one of our organizations is the Black Student Awareness Committee, right? So BSAC hosts events that really provide insight, highlight, and educate about Black people, period. Black people in Birmingham, Black people on campus, Black people across the nation, and Black people in the diaspora, right? We encourage the celebration, the education, the empowerment of Black people. What I want to be very clear about is that this group is not just for Black students, but our focus is really clear. We are offering insight into the future of Black America and how that intersects with the many different identities that we have. And so our students in this social justice programming board host a variety of events. So we'll find anything from a fun line dance and stroll off to a workshop on voter empowerment, or a service project where we do a community cleanup. Again, any student is welcome to join the Black Student Awareness Committee. I think it'd be important to know what's going on, and also to be engaged in, again, breaking down barriers, or be a change agent and make sure that we are registering people to vote, or that we are serving our community in the right way. Let me go back. I also want to highlight that as a first-year student, you can, BSAC is one of the organizations that you can join, and you can become a freshman rep. So if you're a first-year student and you're looking to get a jump start on your leadership, you're like, I want to be involved, but I don't quite know how it works, but I know I really like this organization. You can go on and engage, and you can apply to be a first-year representative. That just means that you will join the executive board, and you will attend executive board meetings. You will spend the semester shadowing the different committees on the executive board, getting an idea of how programming works, how we come up with the activities that we do, how we actually host them and plan for them. And then at the end of the year, you'll have an opportunity, you and another first-year representative will have an opportunity to host an event that you'd be interested in doing. The other thing that you can do is also be an advocate for your first-year colleagues. So if they want to see something, you bring it back to the board, and we'll make sure that it happens. Our hope is that after your year with BSAC, you'll say, this was a great experience. I want to be on the board next year. So this is a great opportunity for you to grow, start or grow in your leadership, and also get a little bit of change, because this position also comes with a very small, modest stipend. All right, the Social Justice Advocacy Council is a programming / affiliate board, but it's about supporting our different identity-based groups. So our board is very diverse. The students come from all different backgrounds, not just ethnicity, but also majors and interests. And their goal is to promote multicultural awareness and inclusive excellence. And so they do this through two ways. One, they host programs. So at the beginning of the year, you'll be able to attend like a social justice mixer. It is very likely that they will do work on the History and Heritage Months. But they also have an affiliate board that supports our registered student organizations that do identity-based work. And they support them through not only support in their programming, like helping them with their programming, but also financially. If you're an affiliate, you can apply for funds so that your organization can do programming as well. The Social Justice Advocacy Council is one of the organizations in our office that also has a first-year representative. So again, if you're interested in doing social justice work in this way, this would be a great way for you to jumpstart on your leadership. I also like to say one of the activities that I love that SJAC hosts is the ORCA conference, Organized Radical Change Agents. It is hosted in every spring. This conference, social justice conference, is planned by the students. They come up with a theme. They do all the marketing. They do all the reservations. They put out the call for submissions. They review the submissions. They create the schedule. It is 100% student led. And that is what, it's such a big deal that we have students that are so invested in this work that they really take it seriously and that they take ownership of making sure that this important work gets done. And so this happens every spring. And so we encourage you to not only attend, but if you have a topic that you'd like to share that matches with the conference theme, then we encourage you to also go ahead and get engaged and apply to be a presenter. And then we have Queer Peers. So Queer Peers is a programming board specifically to support our LGBTQ students. This programming board is made of queer students, and all of their programming activities are aligned with creating community for queer students. And so if we were honest with ourselves, that we say a lot of times that when we do programming, we kind of neglect queer students. We see it a lot when we do like our relationship forums and we automatically put men and women together, and then we forget that there's so many complex different types of relationships. So Queer Peers, while we do in all of our programming need to be way more inclusive, we have Queer Peers also that does programming that fosters community specifically for queer students. I almost call it like an affinity space for our queer students. Queer Peers also has a mentorship initiative called Queer Spheres. So if you are a first-year student, you are a queer student, you are looking for community, I encourage you to consider Queer Spheres. It is a beautiful collective of queer students, and they do a mentoring model that kind of is fashioned after a family model. And this, there are several mentors who are excited to make sure that your transition to campus is one that is filled with support and encouragement. And so again, Queer Peers and Queer Spheres are for you if you are a queer student. Our mentorship initiative is the Blazer Male Excellence Network. BMEN is a peer mentorship initiative for first-year Black men. Our goal is to increase graduation and retention rates for Black men. And so we pair first-year students with upperclassmen who may have the same major, be from the same place, have the same interest, and they provide you with support for your first year, like one-on-one mentorship support for your first year at UAB. Now, after your first year at UAB, you still stay in the BMEN program. So every month you will find that BMEN has programming and activities all aligned to make sure that our first year Black men make that transition from high school to college. Host two really big events every year. One is the Undugu Black Male Gathering, which is our induction ceremony for our first year students. And then in the spring, we also host the BMEN Awards Dinner. In addition, we're so excited to add that we have a new endowed scholarship, and it is in honor of Quadarius Harris, who was one of our B-Man brothers who passed a few years ago. And we are in the process of endowing a second scholarship in honor of Vincent Brown, who is also one of the B-Man Trailblazers. He's one of the students that worked to start this B-Man program. B-Man is celebrating 15 years of mentoring excellence for 16 years of mentoring excellence for Black men. And what we have found, what the data tells us, is that the students that enroll in B-Man and participate in the B-Man program are more likely to graduate. They have higher GPAs, and they're also more engaged in student programming and have a better overall satisfaction with their collegiate experience. So you have ways to get involved. Again, you can join the BSAC general body. What do you have to do that? You just got to come to a meeting and sign in. You'll have to, if you want to be an official member, you'll attend, I think, 3 general body meetings and 2 service projects, and then we'll have some incentives for you after you join. You can join the Queer Peers General Body. You can become a BSAC or a first-year representative for the Social Justice Advocacy Council. You can attend SMDP trainings and workshops. And I encourage you to come to the activities. Just get involved. See if you like it. See if something stands out to you. See if you meet someone and make a new friend. There are a million ways to get involved on campus. Our office is now equipped with a television and dry erase board. So we have space here for you if you just want to relax and connect. You're welcome to come at HSC 311 to eat, to charge your phone, to watch television, to just sit quietly, to study, whatever you'd like to do. This place, we open it up and we encourage you to come and utilize it. The other thing I did not mention is that all of our student leaders, everyone from Queer Peers to BSAC to BMen to SJAC to Free Food for Thought to Safe Zone, we all, once the students are selected as student leaders, the day after classes end, they attend a 4-day immersive social justice retreat. During those 4 days, these students learn about the work that they will be engaged in for the academic year. They are engaged in community building activities to increase the relationship between the students so that there's a future of collaboration. And then they also learn more about how our world is changing, and so how their work can directly impact making sure that our world is becoming a more socially just and inclusive space. So I may have talked about why it's so important to get involved, but one, you'll always have advisors whose doors are always open to you, who always welcome your ideas. We welcome your questions. We love your inquiry. This is a space where you'll absolutely learn more about yourself, and you'll have time to really think about these systems and why you feel the way that you feel. And then also, we are not stingy with resources and information. So if you want to be connected, if you want to learn, this is the place for you to really take advantage of resources and information. This is a lot. Okay. The work that we do, though, I will say, goes well beyond the walls of UAB. I got an email the other day from a student, a former student who was a mentor in our office, who decided that after her important work that she had done on campus, that she would go to law school. And she let me know in the email that she had finished law school, and that the work that she's engaging in now as an attorney really got her started. She got started on that work as an undergraduate member in our office. And so some of the things that she was exposed to, really, she wanted to continue to unpack. So as a working professional, she's taking this work into her life, and it's become her life's work. So again, I encourage you to be the change that you want to see. I encourage you to get involved. We know that you are on campus so that you can get that beautiful and prestigious degree from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, but also there are so many student organizations that really will feed into who you are as a person, and also your interests. And we hope that you will use our office as an opportunity to learn, to be empowered, to grow, and to share. And so you are always welcome here. Our contact info is above. If you want to learn more about our office, read up a little bit more, see some pictures, please check our website out. We are on all of our organizations, have Instagram pages. And if you have any questions, you feel free to email us at smdp@uab.edu. I have been talking a lot, so I look forward. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer your questions. And even if they're not questions about SMDP or the organizations, I'd love to answer anything about getting involved on campus. But I appreciate your attentiveness. And I'm open. Carmen, I'm not sure if there are any questions.
Thank you. Well, right now we're going to give people some time to think about their questions or just to share any thoughts that they have. I love the phrase "be the change you want to see," and how through SMDP and the various programs that we have through SMDP and at UAB, your students can actually be that change that they want to see and participate and actively meet other people who have the same interests, who are looking to make a huge impact, not just at UAB, Alabama, but a global impact as well. So
absolutely,
we invite you to submit any questions that you have, any insights, anything that you would like to ask Sharifa. This is a great time. Again, if you want to contact them afterwards, I repeat this every time. Our email addresses and their email websites here at UAB, fairly easy, uab.edu/SMDP or smdp@uab. So feel free to share your questions, send us a message. Again, while people come up with any questions or things that they might want to share, a reminder that all of our webinars are on Facebook. So if you've missed any, you can go back and view them at your convenience. If you also want to go on our website, you can look at our webinars with captions under uab.edu/families 2023 webinars, and you can go back and view them. And there's also archived webinars. And of course, you can register for Family Weekend while you're there. So yay. Let me check and see if there's any questions on Facebook. Thank you for those who are joining us on Facebook as well. I don't see any questions there. Again, we're going to give you maybe a couple more minutes to see if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know more about the programs. But while we do that, Sharifa, are there any last minute tips or how an encouragement for students to get involved? Sometimes it takes a little bit of a nudge to look into something that they've been interested in. So
I tell students that college was the place that I really felt like I'm friends with my folks, a few people from high school. You know, I graduated like a few years ago. So I still talk to some people from high school, but more from college. I really developed long-term, long-lasting, meaningful, beneficial relationships in college. And I was able to do that by opening myself up to building relationships with folks in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And so I encourage students to not only like step out of their comfort zone and to build those relationships, but also to think about like joining 2 organizations, right? One of the organizations will be something that is matching your personal interests, right? If you like to dance, perhaps you join one of the dance clubs. If you enjoy a sport, maybe you join one of the intramural or club sports. Or if you are interested in fashion, maybe you do that. And then the other organization, and I say that because you're going to need an opportunity to just relax, relate, release. And so this organization will give you an opportunity to do the things that are just fun for you, that make you feel good. And then you should also join one that is related to your major. So if you know that you are interested in nursing, perhaps you join the Pre-Nursing Society. Perhaps you do something that helps you build on your professional network, because you will need that for life. So think about joining 2 organizations, one that's just fun, just feels good and fun. And then the other one will be fun because it's related to what you love, and that's because you're majoring in it, and do that. And then a little added bonus is identify a mentor. Mentorship is so important. For the rest of your life, you'll need a mentor. So find that person that you trust, that is doing good work, that you want to model your work after, and then shadow them. Or ask them to officially be your mentor. And so I think you'll find that will be a meaningful and beneficial relationship for you as well.
I think those are great tips for students. And in a previous webinar we had this morning, the presenter was saying how a transition, when families come and drop their students off at college, a lot of families see it as the ending of something, but we invite you all to see this as the beginning of an exciting moment in your students' transition and in yours as family members as well. So like Sharifa said, have your students engage in some of those academic related groups and organizations, but also look outside and meet other people with similar interests. And again, I can't stress enough the phrase, be the change you want to see. This is a global world with so much diversity and uniqueness that we need to embrace it and celebrate it. So we invite you to look into these programs, contact SMDP, of course, contact us at the Family Engagement Office if we can help you in any way as you transition and as you journey through the 4 years and beyond at UAB. I am not seeing any questions right now, Sharifa, but we wanted to thank you for, again, partnering with the Office of Family Engagement and doing the webinar this year. And thank you, families, for joining us. And again, if you have any questions as you prepare for that transition, a wonderful moment, bittersweet for some, but just a great moment to transition your student and continue in that journey. We're here for you. All of the different departments and organizations here at UAB are here to support you and your student in whatever you need. So please reach out to us. And we wish everybody a happy rest of your afternoon. And we hope to see you soon as you start moving in and throughout your years here at UB. Thank you, Sharifa, for being here today.
Thank you. Take care. Go Blazers.
Bye, everybody. Go Blazers.